Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm staring majestically into my cat's asshole.
Wow, that is
She
beautiful.
arched her back right over there. It's very cute.
Cats are cute. Sometimes. Hold on. My mic is not working, so hold on. I'm gonna see.
Cool. I can hold all day. I have nothing going on.
Is that better?
I can hear it pretty well, if that means anything.
Good. Great.
Great. Good.
Well, let's get started. Hello.
Kerrit podcast.
Podcast. Good song.
Yeah, this sounds like something carrots could grow to.
Crunch into us.
What's up, Doc? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Crunch. Okay.
How
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Why are you so tired?
Well, I work. I usually start work at 11:30 on Mondays and Tuesdays, which gives me license to stay up super late on the days beforehand. But then on Wednesday through like Friday, I work the morning shift. So even though I don't actually have to drive anywhere or get up extra early, it's still earlier than normal. So my sleep is kind of weird. So then I like don't go to bed until 1 or 2, and I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. How are you?
I'm good. You know, nothing. I mean, nothing matters anymore. But
Cool.
I have LaCroix.
Oh, yum. I actually hate LaCroix. I hate it.
Spit take.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch the view for
Okay.
me
How so?
because you can do gallery view or speaker view. So right now I have it where both of us are side by side.
It's cool.
So that's how the podcast will look. Yay!
So it's going to be us side by side.
Yeah.
But then I have to be
let's
on
kiss.
all the time.
Let's kiss.
Mm. Did that work?
I don't know. Lean.
Oh.
The end of the podcast, everybody.
Technology. Cool.
What are you drinking?
This is called coffee, I think. It's from like South America or I don't know. It's processed. I don't know.
Colombia. Yeah. So that's
Cool.
that's
Great. Okay. So let's start over.
We have so much to cover.
Do we?
I think if we
A
hit
dam exploded in Michigan.
I
Can
know.
we talk about that?
We've got some politics to cover. We've got
Not much. Let's just dive
not a
into
lot.
the stuff we were talking about earlier about the best James Bond episodes. Movies.
Well, I was saying, I think we'll get to that, but I think we should address because it just happened. That and then also the announcement about the Justice League. That's pretty exciting. I think we should talk about that, and then we'll get into the rest of the James Bond.
Terrific.
Cool.
I'm open to this.
Great.
I'm open to it all, and I'm ready, and I can start with whatever works best. I'm gonna start with Justice League. I'm super
Yeah, let's
fucking
do it.
excited
Me too.
because I've been waiting for years for this, and I'm one of the ardent supporters of Batman versus Superman specifically.
Me too. You and I both. I think that people. It's so interesting to look back on now because I think that people don't hate it as much as they used to.
I think they still hate it. That's
But
my
I think-
experience with people.
I think because after Justice League came out, they would have rather seen Zack Snyder fulfill his vision after piggybacking on Batman versus Superman.
I don't know
What we got with Justice League.
I think that you may have a point there. I don't know who Justice League was made for in its final version. Like, it's not made for anyone who liked or even followed the other movies, even
Yeah.
a little bit. It's literally made for people who accidentally thought they were buying a ticket to Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's fucking awful.
Which is funny because that wasn't even close to coming out at that point. Or it
I
already
guess
come out.
2017 was like Avengers Infinity War. They were like, oh, sweet, they're
Mhm.
teaming up with each other. It's like,
Yeah.
it's the wrong one, guys. I remember when we went to see, was it Mission Impossible? No. Was it? We went to see a movie in the IMAX, I'm pretty sure, you and I.
Ghost
And I might have
Protocol?
been Interstellar. I think because it was like around the time that Justice League was coming out and the trailer came on, and there was an old couple in front of us, and the Aerosmith song "Come Together" was playing during the trailer, and the older man leaned over to his lady, and he goes, "Please don't make me go see that," or he says something like that. And we
Dude.
talked about it. We were like, "Fuck that guy! Like it's gonna be hopefully good."
I don't even remember what movie we were seeing.
It had to have been in the IMAX, and it was it must have been 2016. It must have been before I left for Spain because Justice League came out when I was over there. So, what movies would have been released in the IMAX in that year that would have been good for us to have seen together?
I have no idea.
Me either.
Because I know I saw Rogue Nation in New York.
Yeah, I saw that in regular theaters. That was 2015, so it couldn't have been that.
So it was after that. So it wasn't.
And it wouldn't have been Fallout because we went to see that.
I don't know
At
if
a
did we
different
see
time?
that together?
We did see it together, I'm pretty sure.
Because I know I saw it for Mike Logan and I's podcast.
I think
But-
we saw it a second time together. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember now. Maybe I'm making fucking shit up. I don't know. I don't understand what the purpose is of having a memory because always just misremember anything anyways.
Well,
so
I did share this on. I've been kind of sharing movie tickets lately on my Instagram, and
Yeah.
the
Oh,
one
I
I shared
saw.
was Hope Springs, and that was that's one of my favorite memories,
Tommy Lee Jones, Meryl Streep, and a forgotten Steve Carell.
dude. That I said in the caption on there that was my greatest time in the theater, and it is 100% true because it was just divorcees all around us crying, and you and I were high, and I farted audibly. I had to stand up and walk away from you because we were both laughing so hard at this horrendous movie.
It wasn't awful, was it? It was.
It's pretty bad.
I just remember. I do remember that where I think did we really walk out into like an area to laugh because it was so funny. I feel like
No, that could have been another movie. That could have been Life Itself, where the Roger Ebert one, because it was just you and me.
stop. I don't even want to go down
Dude,
this road. I see where this is going.
It's such a great road. It was just you and me, and like right before the movie started, a lady came in and sat right next to us, and we were high, and
it ruined the experience because we were like, well, come on now. This is too much to notice right now. Like
that
you're
happened.
right there.
The movie started, and then he had no jaw in the beginning, and I think her sitting next to us, and we were high, and just our worlds were crashing. We just started laughing. It was so uncomfortable.
That's like when I went to see the BFG. I think I was alone though. And
you fucking gay? What's that say?
Yeah, exactly. And I went and there was like it was the previews. So we had gotten that far in the process, and it was a relatively light theater, although there were still people there.
They kept the lights on? Why would they do that?
I don't get it.
You said it's a relatively light theater.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh no!
I can't tell what this quarantine is doing, making me less funny or making other people not understand what I'm saying.
I as long as you understood, I was doing a Ryan O'Neal there.
Oh God! Oh no! And then the camera just swivels around you.
Okay,
I
well,
got you.
Oh man! Oh God! 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 We're doing okay then, and this quarantine's killing so many brain cells, so it's okay if we're a little laggy. But I sat there, and a whole family walks in of like, enough to fill up a row in Celebration Woodland when that was still around.
Oh,
And so
that's another.
They all come in and just start sitting next to me, and there's just too many of them, and I'm like, I'll just move down. And I move down, and then I'm like sandwiched against the wall with this whole family next to me, high as fuck, watching the BFG, which is not a very good movie also.
Dude, isn't it weird, you don't know what's worse, being in a movie and then having someone sit next to you and then you moving, or the action of them just sitting next to you? Like, what's more rude?
It depends on the circumstances, but when the entire theater is kind of empty?
Empty?
Like when there's spaces available, and when it's during the previews, it's like, dude, I have gotten here and I have staked a claim on this seat. Like, this is the summit for me.
Mhm.
I have planted the flag. You need to GTFO, sir. Like, I want to be polite, but it's also like, bro, fucking, for God's sake, be an adult and fucking get away from me. No offense.
Yep. That old lady that I still can't get over it.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
we were in the least opportune seats as well. We were like up towards the front. I couldn't believe it.
and I remember, it's like this one time I went to the beach with my dad when I was a kid, and we got there really early, and no one was there. And beaches are wide open in Michigan because we have big lakes. We don't have lame lakes. I feel like I'm sounding like Donald Trump. Oh my God.
No, you're not.
And
We have big,
with the
we have big
biggest lakes.
We have the biggest lakes. We have the biggest water. That's the end.
And so we get there and we plop down our towels and everything. We're like, yay, we're chilling at the beach. And a family comes up and literally is so close that their like beach chair is over our towel.
What
And
the fuck?
Literally no one else. I mean, it's a beach. There's like no one there. And my dad was like, we're going to move. So we moved like just a couple lengths down, but it was
Good.
like, come on, man, for God's sake.
And then it's always funny too. They look at you with judgment. Like, what is wrong with me that you're leaving? Because you're in my fucking space.
Yeah.
It is
Like,
nice because I feel like now with social distancing, we'll be able to be rude. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck away. And then other people around you would be like, yeah, get the fuck away from him. What are you doing?
we can finally be rude in public.
I'm pretty excited about that aspect of it.
Nice. That is exciting.
If
Very
someone-
exciting
If
news.
someone sneezes and doesn't cover their mouth, they get the shit kicked out of them. That should have been
Yeah.
happening since the Spanish flu, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. Yeah. A lot of things are going on at that time. Guess a lot of things are going on now. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, one thing that's going on right now is that Midland exploded because we've gotten so much rain here in
Did
Michigan.
anyone, I mean, do you know if there were any casualties or anything? Or
I don't know if there's any casualties. I do know, I could be wrong on the numbers, but I think it's 1,000 people are misplaced or displaced from their homes.
I heard 10,000 were displaced.
Or that it's 10,000. It's 1,000 at a zero. So
Well, I
regardless,
was
it's a lot of
shocked
people.
when I heard 10, but that was from somebody I work with who knows I'm from Michigan. So she was like, hey, did you hear about this? And
hmm
so she might have misplaced the 0 too. I mean,
Well, that's the thing is I read it in print that it was 10,000, but I wanted to downplay it just fucking because
Yeah.
that's another thing too, is that people are like, oh, they're fudging the numbers for coronavirus victims and people being hospitalized.
oh, for sure.
it.
For sure. They are. They are.
Yeah, they are. And you know why?
100%
It's
are.
because they have to compete with other hospitals that are getting more funding than them. So they're upping their numbers. Of course. Wouldn't fucking you? Are you kidding me? Like, it's such an obvious, they should be doing this so they can get money, but they also shouldn't have to compete to get them. Like,
Are
the
you saying
bigger
they're
issue at
fudging
hand-
numbers to make them higher so that they get more assistance?
Yeah, that's the article that I read.
Oh,
that's-
okay.
That's because of what's happening with the competitive nature of what the government's basically done with
Right.
hospitals and how they have to compete. And also, I would say more likely that the numbers are evening out because we also have not enough tests and people that are dying of other things that are getting attributed to coronavirus. I think we've mentioned this on the pod before. But if you get a head injury and you die from the head injury that you would have survived from before, you probably died because you had coronavirus. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Like other things that are going wrong, because it's the AIDS thing that we talked about. Like you don't die of AIDS, you die of the HIV affecting your immune system.
Right. But they didn't actually die of coronavirus. They just had it while they
Yes.
hit their head.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
see.
So they would attribute that to coronavirus, which I think makes the most sense. Because if it's something that you would have survived of, but because you had something that was, depleting your immune system, I would say that you died of coronavirus.
I don't know if the hitting of the head is the best example there. Just
No,
because
it's not. That's just something that I randomly
okay,
thought.
because I mean, if you're in a car accident and you die and you had AIDS, but it's because your head was chopped off. I don't know if AIDS killed.
Yeah, I mean, if you're decapitated in a fucking car accident, well, his neck would have stayed together with the rest of his body if it wasn't for coronavirus.
Well,
I mean, if they were doing that, then I'd have a fucking problem with it.
See,
then I would have a problem.
I think it's interesting that you said that hospitals were making their numbers look higher. Having heard of the situation but not read into it, so I want to make plain that I have no idea what's going on. But my brain immediately went to, they're trying to hide the numbers that are out there because they do not want to panic anybody, and that seems to be following the federal leadership.
Hospitals are separate from the federal government in that, where Trump doesn't want people to know how many people there are, and hospitals need to up the amount of people because of, well, it's also being upped because it's based on a doctor's judgment. So if someone dies in a doctor's care, the doctor has final judgment where he can be like, well, that was my patient and I'm attributing it to this. So it's morally in their hands. This is all things that I've read and I can back up.
Okay.
So
cool. Well, that's great. I got as far in the news as there's corruption happening at every level in every aspect of everything. And then that's where I tuned out, I'll be honest.
Yep. Well,
so
that's true as well. I mean, hold on. I'm going to make a couple tweets about voting in November and how you shouldn't mail in a ballot, even though Trump did. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Did you see that? He mailed in his, and then he's now saying that mail-in ballots
I did hear
corrupt.
about that. I do remember that, actually.
That's another thing. People are, misplaced in Midland, Michigan, and people are protesting on the steps of the Capitol under Operation Haircut and getting haircuts and fucking barbecuing, not socially distancing. And just so, fucking dude, it's like a goddamn miniseries on CBS. It's not even a good one.
I was wondering where that was. Well, but CBS, no, it might have been NBC that had The Beast. That was a good miniseries. Also, Merlin with Sam Neill.
Is that NBC?
I think that might have been CBS, actually. I don't remember.
Interesting. Bad.
What about The
Fox?
Odyssey with Armand Asante? That was a pretty good one.
What about Dinotopia? What was that?
Ooh, that was ABC. That was
ABC. There we go.
I never did watch Dinotopia, though.
Who did? 3 people?
People that were really into Jurassic Park and never thought we'd get another sequel. And then Jurassic World came out, and all those people were like, yes!
They're like, thank God we watched Dinotopia.
Yeah, gotta wet the palate.
How about we cleanse our palate and start getting into this goddamn James Bond talk?
Hey! Okay, where did we leave off?
We were talking about Moonraker, I'm pretty sure, I think.
And we were on our top 5, I remember.
Well, we did our top 5. This episode, we have to do our bottom 5.
We do. That's tough because every time I watch a Bond movie again that I think is bad, I end up loving the shit out of it. So I'm really bad at having an opinion on the worst ones. Mm-hmm. Case in point, I thought Die Another Day was one of the worst ones. Love it. Second example, watched Octopussy, thought that was one of the worst ones. Love it. Amazing.
Interesting.
Amazing.
I think my bottom... Well, we'll get to that, but I wrote a couple things down, and I think that we'll be able to get to all of that. This is exciting.
Oh, okay.
So the next... I think we did mention this, but at the end of Spy Who Loved Me, it said Bond will return in For Your Eyes Only. Mm-hmm. Star Wars comes out, and they say, nope, we got to do Moonraker. We got to do Bond in Space.
Got to do it for the LOLs.
It crushes the box office. It is one of the worst Bond movies, bar none.
Oh, yeah.
And after that, so that was 79, and then the next one was For Your Eyes Only. So it's like, all right, now we'll go to this movie. And that's probably higher up for me on the Bond list and the Roger Moore movies list. I like For Your Eyes Only a lot. I've heard from people that it's boring, and but I kind of like it.
I want to like For Your Eyes Only because of the reasons you said, because it's like the only grounded Roger Moore movie, basically. But I just can't. It's not even that it's boring for me. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan. In Roger Moore movies, it's for sure Spy Who Loved Me, Live and Let Die. And then I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to probably throw in Octopussy, A View to a Kill, because I don't get why people shit on that. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
But that's the thing.
Christopher Walken is a blonde-haired Nazi. Can I just set the stage for you? Christopher Walken wins an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for The Deer Hunter. And like 6 or 7 years later, he's like, I'm going to dye my hair and I'm going to be a failed Nazi experiment villain in a Bond movie. Like, that's what he decided in his life.
So the plot is better than how it's executed.
No, because then Bond is driving around in half a car in Paris.
That is my least. It's fucking. It's so stupid.
Wait. Okay, what about this? When he gets into the glacier, that's disguised as a boat, and then it's a totally discolored glacier from the glaciers around it, and then it speeds away, and when it speeds away, it goes.
Like it's out of the Jetsons.
I know.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so funny.
But that's the thing.
Where
is
are you
like,
going? You're gonna what? But you're on work. But I'm on break. Oh, she's on break.
Nice.
It's okay for her to go get the mail. Have fun.
Like if she was going to the bathroom, you're like, yeah, but you're working. You can't go to the bathroom.
You can't do that. You can go get the mail, though. It is downstairs.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like with A View to a Kill, Die Another Day, they're so bad. They're hilarious to watch. They're hilariously bad.
But that makes them good for me because...
Well, we're getting older, so of course.
Yeah, but I mean, that does add into it. Like, I remember, when we were younger, I was like, Jesus, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, Octopussy especially killed me.
Well, that one is, I remember not really having an opinion until you told me about how bad it was. And then I don't think I had rewatched it, but I just kind of kept that thing in my head of like, oh, Octopussy's a bad one. And then now I think that people like it, but I don't see, other than the fucking swinging from the vines and the like, it's really self-referential and it's just real campy.
I know. It is.
But I think A View to a, like I think it's the epitome of Roger Moore in that camp, but I also think it's not as fucking bad as A View to a Kill is. Like the whole scene where he's at the house and the checking like the stallions and the fake, like it's fucking bad. It's not exciting. It's not exciting. It's real bad green screen and it's like a really old Roger Moore. A View to a Kill is not good.
One of the things I do like about View to a Kill is the musical score. Is there like, it's just different.
Is there a bad Bond musical score?
Did you hear that?
I heard your cat, yeah.
That was my cat.
It's, you know what it's going? It's going, where's Heather?
She picked her up. That's why she's meowing. She's like, put me down. Oh, I'm mimicking my cats. That's where I'm at in mother effing quarantine. Do you hear this? I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Can we take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break, everybody. Let's go to an anchor ad.
Come here, anchors away. Come here. Come here. And we're back.
That we didn't even have to take a break.
I hated. You know what? View to a Kill's ending reminds me of Temple of Doom ending, where they're in the mine, and I feel like I might have positive feelings towards it for that reason as well.
Very interesting.
Because I love them. I mean, mine endings are great. Like bombs and workers in a mine. Ooh, I love it.
Interesting.
But so
for your eyes only.
So for your eyes only. Oh yeah, it's just it's trying to be something, and that's great. And it's not terrible, but it's also it's just not the greatest.
So for you like the goofy out there. I think you're coming around to Roger Moore.
Oh, for sure. Well, he has 7, so if I'm gonna rewatch, I'm gonna end up rewatching his the most because he has the most, you know. Like, and I want to watch them all equally. I know this sounds weird, but it's true. And so, if there's one I haven't watched in a while, it's usually a Roger Moore one because he has so fucking many. And then I'm like, oh, time to watch, like, I don't know, A View to a Kill again, and I'm like, this is pretty good. Or Octopussy has like the vagina joke in the title. It's pretty funny.
Jesus.
I don't know how they got away with that. I got to give it points for that.
So it seems like you have like a, I mean, so the other ones that you've defended for Sean Connery have been You Only Live Twice and Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah.
Both least favorites of mine.
Yeah.
And for me, so if we're comparing Roger Moore to Sean Connery, and I'm like, I like For Your Eyes Only, even though it's boring, Thunderball is also boring.
Yeah, for sure.
But
That's
I don't
the thing.
that one's not in high regard for me because I think I watched For Your Eyes Only more than I watched Thunderball. So it's like this weird level of nostalgia, but also recognizing things in a different light. Like I'll tell you this: I'll put A View to a Kill on. I'll put Die Another Day on before I put any of the movies that I genuinely love on.
Right?
Because they're more fun.
Yeah.
But I'll also recognize them as bad. Like they're never going to touch my fucking top 5.
I don't even know. I mean, but they can still have a very comfortable spot in the middle, you know? Like, you know how when you're sleeping and you're in the middle of the sheets in the bed and it's like, yeah, the blanket's really comfortable and yeah, the bed's really uncomfortable in this scenario for some reason, and then you're like the nice sandwich. It's like a sandwich, and it's like you're eating a bad sandwich where for some reason the chef put all the good meat and bread and cheese on the top, and then the bottom is like spoiled mayo and the butt of a piece of bread that was lingering on top of the fridge that they forgot about for a while. But then there's also like some nice salami in the middle, like not the greatest because who loves salami, but like not terrible because salami is filling. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, you've just described a restaurant that should go under.
I mean,
that's such a bad analogy because you're basically saying, well, the entire sandwich is shit, but there's good parts.
There are good parts on the top. And in the middle, not the bottom.
But I wouldn't say that the entire Bond franchise is shit because there's certain things in there that are bad. Let's go back to the bed thing.
Okay.
Let's say the bottom of the let's say the bottom is, the shit movies, and that's the bed frame. You don't want to sleep on the bed frame. The middle is the mattress, right? But the mattress is nothing without blankets.
Okay.
There we go.
Where's the bed spring or the box spring come into all of this?
Those are the shit movies. You don't want to sleep on the box spring.
Oh, well, what's the thing the frame? Because there's the frame, the box spring, and then the mattress.
Oh, sorry. The frame, I guess.
Well, now I'm confused because we can go that I don't use underneath the bed. Does this involve?
No.
Is this in the?
Okay, this is too much. But okay,
also so books or things that I forget about get shoved under there pretty easily.
My bed frame that I have is basically just like bars, and then you put the mattress on top of it because it's like as tall as whatever. So let's go with a regular bed. Okay,
gotcha.
You got the bed frame. That's the shit movies. You fuck. They're recognizably terrible in the franchise.
But you need them for support.
But you need them because it's a part of a whole thing, right? You don't want to be some guy that just has a mattress on the ground and it's like, it's my bed. And you're like, wow, you're a virgin.
Yeah, that's only what college people do.
Yes. So
certainly
then,
not me.
Oh, you have that right now, don't you?
No, I don't actually. I don't.
So then you have the box spring, but I think that is where you would put Die Another Day and A View to a Kill. Then you have the mattress, which is like, we're getting to the good shit. And then you have the blankets, which is like, I feel so comfy and cozy watching From Russia with Love and GoldenEye.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
I do like beds.
But I think the bed frame would be fucking like my bottom 5, and I have them.
You wrote them down?
Yeah.
You go first. I'll quick write some down.
Okay. Well, we can do it later.
No. Wait, I mean, unless you want to. I actually don't care.
I'm changing mine based on the conversation we've had.
You stupid bastard.
So yeah, let's go. Let's keep going with the history of it. So For Your
Okay.
Eyes Only, I kind of dig it.
Well, here's the weird thing, though. Moonraker comes out. They're like, well, this made a boatload of money, but we fucked up. It's a little too campy. Let's do For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only comes out. Totally chill, whatever. Much more normal. And then they decide to say, oh, LOL, here's a Tarzan scream and a man with a
Dude.
saw on a yo-yo.
That's the thing that I don't understand
back
about
and
the
forth.
Roger Moore era, especially.
Yeah.
Especially. Sorry, Jackie texted me and she said Applebee's for food, and I said especially
Well,
because I
why
read
don't
it as
you...
the same thing.
You could go to Meyer and get some frozen food and put that in the microwave. That'd be about
I know
the same, right?
she wants Uber Eats, and that's what she's jumping at. So
I do like food though, I must say.
Food's great.
Big fan of food.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I actually ate some food today with a little hot sauce in it. Good food.
I like hot sauce.
Yeah, me too.
So that's the thing that I don't understand about pretty much the whole Bond franchise on the whole is that they continually bounce back and forth between serious movie and campy movie, and it especially happens with Roger Moore because you have Live and Let Die, which is like it's
Serious.
it's grounded, and then The Man
Dope.
with the Golden
Love
Gun, which is fucking the worst.
Yeah.
And then The Spy Who Loved Me, which is grounded, Moonraker, fucking out in space. For Your Eyes Only, grounded, Octopussy, Tarzan Yell, Yo-Yo Bandsaw. And then A View to a Kill, which is like all of the blending of all of them, and it's just this crescendo of Die Another Day of the Roger Moore era. It's just fucking bananas. I don't get it.
Yeah, I know it is weird when you look at it from a production standpoint because you're just like, what was going on behind the scenes?
Yeah.
If the internet was around, would they have changed anything during the production process in regards to like fan reactions? Like,
I'll be honest, they probably wouldn't have been on the same track as they're on now. I mean, they probably would have made less movies, and they would have. Yeah, I don't know. It's so strange.
yeah,
So, but
it
that
is
I mean,
strange.
that's the Moore era, and then after that, you shuttle in Dalton, which I love. I love the Timothy Dalton movies.
Yeah, he's an absolute G.
What were you gonna say?
I don't remember. Oh well,
It's Hope
I don't know.
Springs.
oh no, that movie. Fun fact was originally titled Great Hope Springs, and I don't see that mentioned enough in Wikipedia articles regarding that movie.
How
So I'm
many
just
times do you have to mention it?
You gotta get it out there. You gotta let people know, hey, like when this came out, there was a good in front of this title. I think that good
Was it good or great? The movie was bad, so there's that.
Was it great? I thought it was good.
You just said great. And
No.
then
I mean, I thought you said great. I
No.
thought it was good. Is it great?
The movie's shit. No, you said the movie. This is like who's on first.
I know.
Hope Springs is bad. No, I thought it was good. Wow, you said it was great.
It's Great Hope Springs. Yeah, it was supposed to be great.
Then you
I mean, it's
changed
not
it to
good.
You changed it to Good Hope Springs in your dissertation.
Yeah, it's Great Hope Springs. You're right. Because it even says.
I never said it. It's only you this whole time.
Oh my god!
We have the most tremendous levies. We got the best.
Steve Carell's name in Hope Springs is Dr. Bernie Feld.
Wow, that is one.
That is Jewish.
That is one
It's
Jew.
so Jewish.
That's-
He does
that's-
not look Jewish.
That's so Jewish. It's two Jew names.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Bernie Feld.
Oh my god, Mike Nichols was attached as director. When did that happen? Philip Seymour Hoffman was attached. What the fuck is going? I'm so sorry. I did not mean to look. I should not have looked this up. This
It's
is
fine.
amazing.
If no one knows the movie Hope Springs, which you shouldn't, it's really bad, and you
It
should
got
definitely.
decent reviews.
But it's
It's
so
75% on the tomato meter.
bad. It's fucking awful.
Oh, can I just? Here's a quote from Rex Reed. Is that okay? And we'll get back.
Is that our gym teacher from fucking?
R.I.P.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's very sad. But this is what Rex. They're literally. That's funny though. Rex Reed seems like a pretty uncommon name, and it literally was our gym teacher and this film critic who's quite famous, which is fucking crazy.
Well, there's a Kevin McCarthy on the Senate.
Yeah, he's a fucking cock. I hate that guy.
There's
he's
also
a douche.
There's also a good Kevin McCarthy who's an actor.
Yes, and another good Kevin McCarthy who is the director of many, many Jeopardy episodes.
Oh.
So
Kevin McCarthy,
the
good
actor outweighs the bad. Yeah, hopefully.
I just did a Back to the Future reference. I don't know if you heard it.
I got it. The actor? Then who's vice president? Jerry Lewis? You know what's funny about Back to the Future is those are amazing movies. Did you know that?
They're all are.
Great.
Yep.
The third one's amazing. And it's the third one. Back when people cared about what it meant to be a third movie.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of The Dark Knight Rises.
I hate that movie.
Just watch Batman Begins again. Holy shit. That movie's
Great
amazing.
Movie. Very good. I just watched Inception again. That movie is the motherfucking shit.
I want to watch that one again, too.
That movie, I know we're sidetracking hard right now.
It's all right. We'll get back to it.
Inception, because that came out 10 full years ago.
Wow.
Do you understand? 10 years.
2010.
Leonardo DiCaprio was still sort of young. He's not anymore. He was like 34. He's not young anymore.
That's crazy to think about. It's
like his only action movie outside of like Body of Lies, which really isn't even an action movie in the strictest sense of the word. So it's like a hidden gem that's not hidden, and it's somehow not talked about just because there's so much other shit going on and so many other movies coming out. That movie though, the first hour is straight exposition, and I remember not liking that too much. But then I remember I was just watching it now, and I was like, oh my God. After that, though, it's like 2 hours of crazy shit going on.
But it's exciting. It's exciting exposition, though.
So exciting. I love it. It was so good. And the editing and the action scenes, and it's the best movie. And there's so much time. If you ever want to see what a James Bond movie looks like directed by Christopher Nolan, watch the last like 45 minutes of Inception where they're like in the snow terrain and they're like fucking killing that fucking what are fortresses called? Fortress. It's a fortress in the middle of the mountains, and it was awesome.
Here's the thing. They have tried to get we're getting back on track, but they've tried to work something out with Christopher Nolan to have him be a director. They like that name's got mentioned 1,000 times, and he wants to do one. He has expressed interest in wanting to direct a James Bond movie. Why haven't they? Why?
I've heard it's because he wanted to do the Origin movie.
Then fucking do it next. What?
Oh.
I don't understand.
I don't get it. I mean, they should have, depending on how No Time to Die turns out, they probably should have just kept Danny Boyle. I heard there's a rumor that he wanted to kill him or he didn't want to kill him. It was one of the two.
Yeah, his negotiation. So for No Time to Die, we got Kerry Joji Fukunaga. But I need to figure out how to say his fucking name.
It's easy. It's Kerry Joji Fukunaga. Get it right.
Fukunaga. Okay.
Fukunaga.
But he came in after Danny Boyle left the project, and Danny Boyle said, I will only do this movie if we use my script. And they read the script, and they said, we want to go in a different direction. So it probably was killing James Bond.
Which is, if that's...
I don't agree with.
I would not kill him. I think that's stupid. I think it's stupid, which is weird because I was okay with killing Batman in Dark Knight Returns, but I hated that movie. That movie had so many other issues. Dark Knight Rises. It's so bad I forgot the title.
Hey, here's the thing. I don't know if anyone's talked about The Dark Knight Rises, Rise of Skywalker, both the worst movies in those fucking worlds, and also Rise. Quit putting Rise in a title.
Yeah, it's true. It's
we get it. They're coming back. We get it.
They did it because Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Rise of Skywalker. That's my thought, at least.
I just did a jerk-off motion.
It's not very good. Okay, back on track. So I'm going to tell you my bottom 5. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Thunderball. We don't have to talk about that one. We already talked about it. For Your Eyes Only. Don't have to talk about that one. We already talked about it. Oh, I will say this though, For Your Eyes Only, great scene in that movie that has always stuck out with me when there is a villain in a car and the car is hanging on the edge of a cliff, and then Roger Moore like fucking kicks the car over the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Reportedly, he didn't want to do that, but
that's a stupid move
dumb.
not to. It's the greatest scene in his franchises, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually why I love that movie so much, is because it is a harder edged Bond.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I do like that. Also, like, just the idea, like, you don't really see, I don't believe I've seen that in a movie ever since then. And it's such a simple idea and such a cool idea. It's like, how did that not happen earlier?
And it's funny because we've seen space ripple through other films, which
Yeah,
I'll get
seriously.
to. But yeah.
So true. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw Moonraker on there.
Makes
Boring.
sense.
And then Man with the Golden Gun. So I did warn everyone last episode, get ready for a lot of Roger Moore on this one. But I would end it with Spectre. I thought Spectre was fucking trash.
Yeah, I'll do my. That's your 5?
That's my bottom 5. Yep.
I don't know if I can do it in a particular order.
It's not in like a particular order. Like my 1 through 5 are probably in an order. My bottom 5 are kind of, I'd have to look at it a little closer.
Well,
to see which ones are my actual least worst.
That's the thing with ranking these things, is that it's gonna change every time you watch stuff. You know,
it's great. That's the beauty of art. You can endlessly debate it. You talk about it now, and we'll come back in like 10 years, and we'll be like, Spectre is kind of good.
Yeah. Well, we're never gonna say that, but my bottom 5, I'm gonna say. We've been talking about a lot of them, but I'll throw out Moonraker, Spectre.
Oh yeah,
A View to a Kill.
Terrible choice. That's a great movie.
The Man with a Golden Gun. Die Another Day.
Ooh,
I knew these.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, there, Bob, because
so I just.
It's fucking amazing.
But it's amazing because it's bad. Like, if we're going... I have formed my bottom 5 on movies that are good and movies that are bad. These movies are bad.
I don't know what to tell you.
They're enjoyable.
Yeah, that's
true. You can enjoy... Like, Intruder. You would never say Intruder is a great movie.
Yeah, but it's also like a bad movie.
Exactly. That's what these are. Die Another Day is a bad movie.
I'd watch Die Another Day over Intruder probably 6 out of 10 times.
I would watch Die Another Day over GoldenEye because Die Another Day is so bad it's hilarious. But you have to recognize the fact that it is bad.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just weird though because like I mean, I get what you're saying, but we have an odd discrepancy where it's so bad that I love it, and for you, it's like so bad it's at the bottom of the list, but you still like it or tolerate it. Maybe is the better word.
Yeah, tolerate's a good word. I mean, Thunderball is boring, but I would recognize that it's probably a better film than Die Another Day.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, I get that, but
and it's also
Thunderball,
Connery.
Everyone says that.
It's the
Connery's sacred. Oh, by the way, he beats up women. Whatever.
Oh, jeez. Now we're bringing the personal shit into it.
No, I don't actually. I mean, I was gonna say I don't actually care. That's a bad soundbite.
But yeah, I'm gonna take it and fucking do something with it.
I'm sorry. The man's like 91 years old. I really don't care what he said this in the 80s.
Yeah,
we can endlessly talk about the personal life.
When I still had strength in my hand.
Oh my god.
And I still had strength. You bitch. If you're watching this, you're seeing it, but if you're listening, you're missing everything.
Yeah, you are. and I'm the lady. Stop, Sean! Stop! Ow!
Oh my god, you guys are making light of people get. No, I'm literally putting my hand against a camera, and the person in fucking Minnesota, miles away, is pretending that he's getting hit.
Yeah.
You're like, Die Another Day, you bitch.
No, not really. I don't know.
Anyway.
I did. She did. But, like, the thing is, though, like, you say Thunderball is a better film. I feel like the word film in this context makes it seem like we're talking about, like, classic, like Casablanca type movies.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. So for me, I don't really think about it as what's the better made. Like, I get what you mean because it's like more realistic and it has more of like a James Bond edge to it without being campy or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's just kind of like whatever. I'd way rather watch the campier, ridiculous one. And in some ways, I think you could argue that makes it better. Since we're not talking about anything that's like reinventing the wheel.
I think I get what you're saying, where the bottom 5 should be reflective of movies that you would never watch again.
Closer to the movies that I would not watch again, yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, like, I'm obviously going to always watch the bottom 5 here, but they're not my favorites. Like, I would definitely watch Diamonds Are Forever over one of these movies. Although that's even that's not true because I literally don't care what order I watch these movies in. I would watch them in any order all the time, always. So this conversation's like a moot point for me because it's fucking they're great. They're awesome. They're fucking hilarious. If it wasn't for Q Branch, she'd have been dead long ago. Like that's what I'm saying.
Always have an escape plan.
Where'd you go? Did you retire?
I got in a car accident. Poor Desmond Llewellyn.
I know. He could have been in Die Another Day, at least.
Yeah. I'd rather have him talking about a car going invisible that he doesn't understand.
That would have made that movie so much better, though, for real, if he had been able to jump in on that thing. Oh, man.
We're going to pause 1 second. You guys are going to hear some barn music. I got to put my order in through Uber Eats.
Okay. Anchors away.
We've already done that, but...
Shit! It's the music part. Nope, you already said that. Anyway, welcome back, everybody.
Hey, thanks, I'm back.
Hi. So we're back again. I mean, shit, I fucked it up. Let's do it again. One more time. I swear to God. Hi.
Nice job. That was great.
That was still bad. So while you were gone, I was contemplating where we were at in the conversation. And
well, we're on to Timothy Dalton.
Yes.
If you don't have anything else to say about Roger Moore.
No. Roger Moore, I see why people love him. Moving on.
Perfect. Timothy Dalton hops in. It was originally supposed to be Pierce Brosnan, but he couldn't get out of his contract with Remington Steele.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about that? Would you rather have Pierce Brosnan in those movies, or would you rather have GoldenEye?
God.
Here's the thing. We wouldn't have gotten GoldenEye if it weren't for having Timothy Dalton and having these licensing issues.
I mean, I would, there's so many universes out there where so many of this is played out in a different way.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see Brosnan in the role, because he would have still been in his 30s when that came out. Because he was 41 or so when GoldenEye came out, somewhere around there.
Pretty sure.
So he was still in that age range where he could easily do it without being too young looking. But at the same time, GoldenEye is the best one of all time.
I know.
It also led to one of the greatest video games of all time, which is fucking.
I was gonna get into that when we get to Pierce.
But I also think in these universes we're talking about, we would have gotten a third Timothy Dalton movie too, which sounded pretty badass. I forget the plot to it, but I remember reading about it some years ago and being like, "Damn, I'd fucking watch the shit out of this."
That sounded good too. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, got to stick with reality in this one. I know there's a reality where Donald Trump is not elected, for example, and I would choose that reality.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah, but in the GoldenEye versus no GoldenEye, gotta have the GoldenEye.
That's what I think too. I mean, I really I'm surprised that I just forgot. See, here's the thing: is License to Kill is top 5 for me. I didn't say it last week. I always forget about that movie.
That's my top 5.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm like, well, I gotta say From Russia with Love because I love that movie. I gotta say GoldenEye and didn't I say Casino Royale? Because I'm like, well, those are the top 3.
Yeah, and then I think On Her Majesty's Secret Service was in there.
Yeah, I think I did change it. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. Okay, I'm fucking stupid.
We haven't been recording this whole time.
No, we have been, but I thought I typed in my bottom 5. I'm pretty sure I said License to Kill last week, last episode. But the ones that I was amending for the bottom 5 were Alex Plotkowski's.
Really?
He gave me his top 5 and his bottom 5, and I said I'd say it. And then I looked at the note, and I haven't typed on it since fucking 2 weeks ago. I thought they were mine that I was thinking. But
you stole someone else's list?
Well, no, I changed it to reflect what mine actually were.
So wait, what are yours now? And then let's talk about what his are.
No, mine are still what I said, but I changed his. So his top are Casino Royale, Goldfinger, GoldenEye, Skyfall, From Russia with Love.
Great top 5. It's a very great, well-rounded top 5.
His bottom are Die Another Day, Octopussy,
No.
Vector, Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only.
Yes! See? Yes! He is wrong on the other 2, though. Octopussy, or as I like to call it, Octopoon.
Jesus Christ.
I couldn't even say it. I'm sorry. That's a very high school / early 20s joke. I'm probably too old to be saying that one. That's really fucking hilarious, though, right? Because come on.
Octopunani. It's like we farted in the theater again.
Do you know the context of how Ian Fleming even came up with that?
No, please tell me.
I don't know. I want to know. I feel like he must have been chilling in the 50s, and he's like, well, we're in England, and it's a certain year and a certain decade, and we call cats pussies over here. And so, I have pussy galore, and I like how octopuses kind of could be like an octopussy. Like it's I'm British, and I'm saying, hello, octopussy, and there's a title. Like, that's how I feel like he came up with it.
I think it was more of like, I'd love to fuck a broad with 8 pussies. Octopus. Oh, octopussy.
I just don't know how he would do that, being a single-penis organism.
I mean, he could fuck all 8 back-to-back.
Individually? Well, is he going in, out, in, or is it in, out, completion?
Well,
Wait 15 minutes, in, out, completion.
No,
Or
I'm
hiring. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure he would like if he does it too often, he's gonna come too quickly. So he's gonna have to be in out, in out, in out, in out, and then
8
probably
times?
probably blow it on the 5th.
Well, what's he doing with the other 3 then? At that point, he's just happy that he came up with the title. I feel like
I mean, I guess
those 3 pussies can fuck themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, cut that out. Let me try to do a different way. Ready?
No.
Those other 3 pussies can go fuck themselves. That's how it should have been. Because he's like mad. It's a pun then.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was.
That was
That's what
fun
Ian
pun.
Fleming said. Oh my. That was quite fun, I must say.
That was quite arousing. Those other pussies can go fuck themselves. I mean, this is the same guy who wrote a character's name as Pussy Galore, so...
I know. And she's a lesbian in the book, so
He
she's
turns her.
obviously getting her name, right?
That pussy can go fuck itself. That's what originally Sean Connery was going to say that in the movie.
Oh, God. I wish. I love how many hints are about her orientation in the movie and how it really doesn't matter anyways. It's like, she's like, I'm afraid that like your charms won't work on me or whatever she says. Do you remember that line?
I do, and it's that, see, you know, it's weird looking at that movie from now, because you're like, that's fucked up. But then looking back on it then, I'm like, was anyone watching this being like, oh, he's...
Like, she's gay.
Well, no, I don't know. It's just such an interesting thing to talk about that part of Goldfinger, because looking at it scientifically, you're like, there's no way he changed her. She either wasn't gay to begin with, or
she's bisexual.
Or she's bisexual, or this movie is just...
Pansexual.
Oh, yeah. Or this movie is just bullshit. The idea that they're trying to convey is that James Bond is so sexy, he can change a woman's orientation. That's what they're going for.
His chest hair.
Have I seen his toupee? Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't talk about my fake hair.
Sean, I'm sorry.
Bitch.
Please love me still. Oh God, this is so mean. I can't.
It's
cut
fucking.
this out.
He's 90. It's fine. We're having fun.
Yeah, having fun.
I am. Are you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Bye.
I'm still trying to figure. Great. See ya.
Nice countertop.
Thanks. I got it myself. I didn't. I mean, I did. It was free.
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't get it. I didn't design it. I mean, I did get it. I took it for free. I didn't.
Good.
I didn't make it.
So we're at Timothy Dalton, and License to Kill is in my top 5. I don't know if I said it last week or last time. I can't remember, but that's definitely. I think I did. But I love that movie. And first one that's PG-13, GoldenEye.
Has a very British spelling of license. Just wanted to say. Got to
It
throw that in real
does,
quick.
and they were going to call it License Revoked, and people in America did not know what revoked meant, so they changed it License to Kill, which is
and
so
these people
sad.
are voters.
Dude, it's so depressing to me.
Hey, what's revoke mean? This bullshit. I just want to see Bond fuck shit up. I don't want to see him revoke nothing.
Well, that's the thing too, is like they changed the name to License to Kill, and it still is the least grossing Bond movie.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
movie-
because they saw License with 2 C's and they were like, I don't think that's how you're supposed to spell it. I demand American spelling in America. I'm boycotting this fucking movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It also came up against a lot of other big blockbusters in '89. So
True. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, I think, was
Yeah.
in there, right?
which also stars Sean Connery.
Indeed, it did. Also, a good movie.
Indy.
Oh, Good day to you, sir.
Stop
it, Sean.
Rats. Yeah, so then, GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies and The World Is Not Enough and Die Another Day, obviously, those are the...
Dude, I always forget about Tomorrow Never Dies because I don't really like it, but actually that honestly could almost be in my bottom 5 more than, like, geez.
That's so interesting. I think I've come around to that one a little more, because the plot is interesting. The plot's more relevant today than it was then.
I used to hate it for the plot, and I must say I think that it has become more relevant because it's completely about a global news
Agency.
What's the guy? Agency,
Elliot Carver.
Who's like a Rupert Murdoch stand-in. Well, and he's like trying to start World War III to sell papers.
Yeah.
Right? Basically.
Yeah. Well, it's also like if you look at it from a point of view of if it was electronic, that's the thing. It's like it's newspapers. So that's the dated part of it. But it's also, if you look at it like clicks, like internet clicks and stuff like that, like it'd be like if Mark Zuckerberg that's what it is. That's why it's relevant.
I like that, and I think they should remake it a la Never Say Never Again with Pierce Brosnan and call it Today is Tomorrow, and now it's time to die.
Well, no, they could call it the thing they were going to call it, which was Tomorrow Never Lies.
Ooh, here we go.
And
I'm interested in that.
There was a script error where someone mistyped it or something, so Tomorrow Never Dies is what they typed, and they're like, ooh, I guess we like that more. Tomorrow Never Dies. And someone's like, that doesn't make any sense. Tomorrow Never Lies actually makes sense. Yeah, but dies. In a couple years, we're going to make a movie called Die Another Day. So it's kind of like a sequel to Tomorrow Never Dies.
What exactly does Tomorrow Never Dies mean? He says it in the movie. He goes, Tomorrow Never Dies.
Does he say it, though?
I think so, unless I'm mixing it up with
Die Another Day.
The only dude, I gotta say, shout out to World Is Not Enough having the best title drop in all of the James Bond movies.
It does. That's also
fucking so does.
That's also James Bond's family crest.
Exactly. That's why it's the best title drop because she has in World Is Not Enough. She has the lead villain has Bond tied up, and what does she say to him? She said, "You could have had the world," and then he goes, The world is no stuff. But if you watch the movie, his acting is great because he's kind of like Scott, like laughing because he's like, this is my family motto. This is great. So then he says it. And she says like, oh, like whatever the fuck. And he goes, family motto. And it's just tremendous. It's tremendous. It's great. I love it.
It's great. I mean, I've grown to love The World Is Not Enough more as time goes on. And that's the thing to me too, is like, they're not the Bond movie, the Pierce Brosnan Bond movies are, I used to think they're all camp, but I don't think they are. I think they kind of go into Roger Moore territory, but if they're going into a Roger Moore territory, it's more of a Live and Let Die or For Your Eyes Only. Or even The Spy Who Loved Me. I mean, The Spy Who Loved Me, I would say, is closest to GoldenEye, but Die Another Day is just... It's so fucking out there that it's like it doesn't even fit in with the rest. It's so fucking outlandish.
The Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
It's like the Fast and the Furious of the James Bond movies, and it's so funny for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's something
watch it again.
It's amazing. I mean, I watched it I think a month or two ago. I'm just thinking about it. It's in an ice palace. I think I told you about
You talked about this in the last episode.
Extensively. Because I just love the idea. The production crew is meeting. I'm assuming this is with Barbara Broccoli. So Robert Wade and Neil Purvis are the writers, and they're all pitching ideas, and they're all just like, oh my God, we can use an ice palace.
And then someone else in the room's like, yes, but for how long? Oh, the whole
entire movie.
Well, no, we have to have him go to Jamaica at some point. Fine, the beginning of the fucking movie.
You know what? I'd like to see Bond imprisoned and stabbed repeatedly with scorpion venom.
I don't know if we should show that. I think we should just have that in the main title sequence.
Oh, great idea, Barbara. And we'll also have Madonna singing this song. I love it. Also, Die Another Day, the song, gotta talk about it. Not a bad song until like 20 seconds into the song.
Sigmund Freud.
I know.
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad.
But also, like, the background music is so, like, it's like weird club music, but not good. It's not, it's fucking, it sounds like a parody of what those songs would sound like.
Well, that's
like,
what Madonna's music sounded like in the 2000s.
Then it was awful.
It's fucking putrid.
Yeah. Like a Virgin is a good song, though.
Yeah, it's a good song. That's
Touch
the 80s.
For the very first time. And then how's the beat go? Like,
Boom, 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 like that kind of thing. Nope.
Well, isn't it like I keep thinking of "Sweet Dreams" by Marilyn Manson, which is not the original artist.
Nope. "Sweet Dreams" is Annie Lennox of the Eurythmics. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I love Eurythmic. It's so much easier than arithmetic.
So, Die Another Day.
So yes,
it's in my bottom. It'll change. I mean, it's just so fun to watch. But I don't know. Maybe my problem is that I'm doing a top 5 and a bottom 5. Well, the top 5 I completely stand behind. Like, those are my favorites. But bottom 5, I think it's like I'm not rating it by like fun factor. I'm rating it by like what I think is a good movie. So I think that's the issue. I should rate it by what 5 do I think are the literal worst that I don't want to watch again.
See, and that's just none of them. I'd watch all of them always.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Maybe we just have to accept the fact that our bottom 5s are not going to change. They're different. Ours are different.
What we have to accept, and what's great to accept about this, is that these movies are eternal as long as we are living. Not to sound selfish. What I mean by that is once we die, it doesn't really matter what we think about them because we'll be dead.
It doesn't matter when we're alive, motherfucker.
Yeah, it does, because now it's like no, it doesn't. It doesn't. But in Tomorrow Never Dies, do you remember when he and Michelle Yeoh are driving the motorcycle and their arms are on the handlebars and his is on one hand? Have you seen photos of that recently?
Yeah, she's a dummy. She's clearly a dummy.
It is so clearly fake.
Yeah. She's clearly a dummy.
Well, when she's not no, exactly. But not even is she clearly a dummy. It's clearly his arm, both of his arms.
Well, it's his arm, but it's like inside of the shirt or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking, it's ridiculous.
He has like an elongated, it's so funny. I just wanted to say that. I don't know where that would fit in this episode. It's just right so there. Funny. It's because is this what we're doing, Hollywood? Like, what are we doing? Like, we're on the set of a movie. Is this gonna work? Roger Donaldson, or is it Spottiswoode? Roger Spottiswoode. Is this gonna work? And he's gonna say, "Listen, Barbara Broccoli, you're my boss. Of course it's gonna work." And then the movie comes out, and he's sitting in the theater, and he's like, why the fuck did I agree to that?
Well, here's the thing. With a lot of movies pre-internet, you don't have and like VCRs before that, you don't have the luxury of like pausing the movie and then like going frame by frame or, clicking around and like looking at it. So that's become something that's more looked at, and like you can do that now, but back then I don't think it was that high priority.
I think you're right. I do have to mention though, there's a scene in Men in Black where Tommy Lee Jones is showing Will Smith the headquarters, like when he first gets there, and it's the scene where Will Smith knocks the ball off of its like pedestal and it starts bouncing around the room and crashing through shit. Do you remember that part?
It's been a long time.
Oh, you should watch that movie again. It's amazing. But while they're in this room of inventions and things from other worlds, Tommy Lee Jones gets like the super ultra small disc and is like, hey, this is what like CDs are going to look like in the next 10 years or whatever. Guess I'll have to buy the White Album again. And the older I get, the more I understand that scene, because technology is always advancing, right? Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, especially like in the 90s, you knew it was just going to get exponentially higher than what it was ever before. And so it just makes one wonder, like DVDs were starting to come out around that time, were they not?
Yeah, they were.
And so like clarity was becoming a thing. And I'm not trying to hound these people, because it's not like they could have really known, but maybe they could have had an understanding that maybe things were changing.
I'm with you.
Maybe not to put a fucking elongated arm through a sleeve with a dummy in the front. Like, I don't know. Like, does this look real? I don't know.
The thing that I would say is, what would you rather have? Because if that movie was made today, you know for a fucking fact it would be some shitty CG. Well, like even Skyfall, I mean, that gets some flack for the CG during that like motorcycle thing with the fake faces put on them. That gets some shit.
That's true, and it's a fine line. It is. Mm-hmm. You're completely right. I don't know, man. It's a tough one.
That's the thing. It's like
this is a conversation that would last into another episode, honestly, because
we can do it. We're in quarantine for fucking the unforeseeable future.
Is
that a word? Foreseeable future.
For the foreseeable. Unforeseeable is a word, but it doesn't make sense.
But it doesn't
right
make
there.
sense there. Yeah.
I think it really comes down to, God, it's so tough, because here's the thing too. It's pretty much a truth for the most part. It's like a 90% truth that any visual effect at all is going to look fake to the human eye. Like as we're registering it, and it's not so much trying to make it look, it's trying to make it look real, but it's also trying to not take you out of the moment. And if it does take you out of the moment, you want it to be like, oh, this is a cool effect. Like that's what you want to inspire in the people. Because the only people watching these movies are people that wouldn't realize what CG is, because they just don't understand. They don't notice it. I don't know how they don't notice it, but they don't notice it. And there's people who are like watching it who are like, what is this? Yeah. I've lost the thread. You continue now.
Well, I was just going to say, so this movie came out in 1997, Tomorrow Never Dies. Mm-hmm. Originally called Tomorrow Never Lies. Way better. Came out in 1997.
But then it doesn't have die in the title.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Do you know how many more tickets we can sell if there's die in the title?
I bet you could sell more tickets if you didn't have a dummy on a motorcycle. But here's the thing, is like you have to look at it from the CGI of the time. The special effects of the time were fucking not as good as they are now. I mean, for humans, for sure. Like, depending on the movie.
Right.
Like, if you look at The Lawnmower Man, which was, 92?
Yeah, 92, I want to say.
They obviously made, leaps and bounds since then in 97. But when did Spawn come out?
Well, I think it was 97, I want to say.
Dude, if you haven't seen the effects of Spawn lately.
Blade also.
Fucking terrible. So you have to look at it from that perspective of like, well, what? And also we know from MGM, they try to cut corners every time with James Bond movies. Like they spend all the money on the jet setting, but they don't spend the money on the fucking script rewrites that they should be doing. They don't spend money on the, this, that. They try to cut corners. So I would rather have them do something practically like this with a dummy on a motorcycle than try and CG it up with, like when they're like, I mean, the CG in this would look like the CG in Die Another Day with him parasail gliding or whatever down the
tsunami wave or whatever.
Tsunami wave. Yeah. It would be
bad.
It would be worse than that.
Yeah,
that's how bad it would be. That's them cutting corners. That's a prime example of it. For a fucking fact it would look worse.
Big shout out to X-Men of 2000, where Wolverine is about to fall off the head of the Statue of Liberty, and he uses his claws to stay on the head, and it is so clearly fake.
That could be the worst CG of all time.
Yeah, it's pretty up there. I honestly,
I blame Bryan Singer for that, just because I love blaming him for everything.
Yeah, I mean, he made X-Men: The Last Stand a piece of shit. That's his fault.
No, that was Brett Ratner.
Yeah, but he left the project. He left it right as it was about to go into production. So it was like, dude, you're leaving us out in the cold on this one. And
I'll be
now
honest,
we can't complete the trilogy.
He was on the project in X-Men Apocalypse, and that movie is a fucking apocalypse on humanity.
That's true. That's
he also did leave. I read this. Olivia Munn was doing an interview, and she was talking about how he would just kind of leave set because like someone was sick or whatever, and he would leave set and then like text them and be like, "Oh, just do this." Dude, like he would direct from his phone. So he's a piece of shit, Bryan Singer.
I gotta say, I don't disagree, especially hearing the stories I hear about that guy. But it is interesting. X-Men is a solid movie. X2 is a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
So then he leaves X-Men 3. If he had stayed, it seems pretty arguable that it would have been a better movie if he had stayed at that point in his career. And then they make X-Men First Class. He's like a producer or a consultant or something, and that's a great movie. And then he comes back for Days of Future Past, which is arguably like the top 3 X-Men movies.
Yep.
And that's why it's so strange that Apocalypse was so poorly received and he was apparently doing shit like this on set. It's almost like he had been like, oh, cool, I'm back in the game now, and I can now let my true pedophile asshole self out on set or something. I don't really know. It's very odd.
It's that, but it's also what you're doing is you're creating a disjointed product, and that's what that movie feels like. Apocalypse feels completely disjointed, and I don't know, I'm trying to tie it back to the Bond franchise, but the whole franchise seems disjointed between like each movie.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're all over the place, but for some reason it's like I look more fondly on it because there are more, and it branches through the decades rather than the X-Men franchise where it's just like there's some good ones.
Yeah,
like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. We bring these up continuously, but they branch a longer time, and I think when you look back on it, you can look back on it more fondly and be like, I remember what that gave me nostalgia wise. But because we've been older when we're watching, like, are there any younger children that have seen X-Men Apocalypse and they're like, that's my favorite one? Has anyone younger seen Dark Phoenix and they're just like, this is way better than the other ones? I mean, those are interesting things to think about.
It is. I don't know anyone who's seen any of those movies. Of course, I don't know anybody who sees movies anymore except for you and like Wes, basically. I mean, when movies were still in business. Mm-hmm. But fucking A, man. Shit.
We didn't even cover the other stuff I was going to bring up.
What was the other stuff you were going to bring up?
Well,
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, the Daniel Craig era.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that.
Oh, that's yeah.
And then the games.
Oh God, part 3. Let's just go into part 3 next week.
All right, let's do it.
Is this too much? Is this
no,
even interesting?
Dude, fuck it. Maybe this is the arc of the season. Who cares?
I don't care. We're doing James Bond because I'm jumping into motherfucking the games next week. Yeah. I want to talk about everything or nothing.
Dude, that game was great.
Yeah, and Nightfire, and Agent Under Fire.
I mean, I have them all. I think that's how you played them. I have them.
That's exactly how. GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
Oh, man,
you guys are in for a treat next week.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do next week. We'll talk about the Daniel Craig movies. We'll talk about the video games, and then how Moonraker has reflected through other movies in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fast and the Furious.
Yes, we also have to talk about the bottom. I'm sorry. Never Say Never Again. We didn't even touch on that.
We have to talk about the middle Bond movies, the ones that are the cream. That sounds weird.
The cream of the crop.
That would be the best ones. Do you remember when the cream of the crop was a thing on Rotten Tomatoes? Wasn't that some kind of weird scam where they said, like, they would rate higher or like more publicly known film critics? They'd call those reviews the cream of the crop reviews.
Oh yeah, I think I do know about that. So
Rex Reed, so stupid.
He was on there.
Yeah, fucking the fuck, like Jesus Christ.
Whatever. There's some other things that I have talk about too. But we'll do that for next week, everybody. Very exciting.
Yeah. Well,
So
it was good to see everyone.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. We're doing a James Bond stuff.
I know. I'm so excited too. I love it. So, anyway, have a good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.
It's still March to me, man. I mean, I don't even know what month it is.
It's actually about, dude, seriously though, isn't it crazy? It's about to be June in like 10 days. What the fuck? Jeez.
Well,
this was,
I mean, this is fun. I'm glad that we're talking more. I feel like we talk more doing this than we normally would. So that's
I think
good.
so too. That's nice. You know, I've just been listening to Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog over and over again and crying. So
Dude,
I'm just like,
you should listen to the whole album. It's pretty solid.
I would like to.
That's a really good album.
Yeah, because I've been going. Yeah.
Oh. Well, this was fun.
Okay.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye, Kevin.
Have a good evening.
Bye, everybody.
Enjoy your Applebee's.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, I had to.